Hi guys, I've been getting a lot of emails and questions from people about things that you can do for a sore neck, from forward head posture, or sometimes people call it tech neck. So if you're holding a cell phone and kind of looking down and texting, or if you're sitting at a computer and your head is jutting forward, people's head will go like that. Over time, the muscles in the back of the neck, and there's a muscle right through here, get really tight, and these muscles get really weak. I have it, I know I definitely have it, and so it's something that I need to work on, is strengthening these deep neck flexors and also loosening up some of these muscles and some of these muscles. So you can do something as gentle as just very gently massaging out. There's a big muscle that runs from here through here. You can just very gently rub that out on each side. Yep. And then you can also do something where you gently rub through the back of what's called these neck extensors. They're responsible for doing that. And when your head's out like this, they're working all the time, so they get really tight. So you can just kind of draw your chin to chest and rub those out a little bit. Sometimes people like to do something like take a couple of lacrosse balls and tie them together in a sock and lie on them right at that point and roll that out a little bit. You can do that as well. So just kind of massage all of that out. So then once that's let go just a little bit, we want to start working on strengthening these deep neck flexors. You can do something as simple as just some gentle chin tucks, like this. You could also lie on the floor and do the same thing. So I'm just going to lie on the floor and do some gentle chin tucks. I'll see people use flex bands sometimes to put behind their back like this, and they'll gently press back into the band. So they'll use the band as a way to elongate the neck so they get that little bit of a feedback. You can also do that. Be gentle with it though, because if you're weak in here, you might not even feel it at first when you start trying to strengthen these guys. They might be so weak that you don't even feel them working, right? But be gentle with it. Don't try to just cram it down. Now your goal is to get back to a neutral head or a neck posture. A lot of times people think the goal is to then walk around with their neck cranked in this kind of position, and that's called a flat cervical spine. You don't want that. You want a gentle curve in your cervical spine. We're just going for trying to not have it too curved and jutting forward, right? So we're thinking about drawing that chin back in. Now you notice, just if I go like this and then draw my chin back in, it pulls my whole torso, starts responding to that lift. And so you will find there's a relationship between your thoracic spine and your shoulders as well. So if your shoulders are tight, if your thoracic spine is tight, you're not gonna have that strength here in the neck either. And so you're going to want to also work on a few things, like maybe some shoulder girdle mobilizations and some stability exercises. You're going to want to work on some thoracic spine mobilization. And so I'll show you a couple of those real quickly. You can do something, especially a lot of people have this when they're in a seated position. So I'll just show you from a seated position some things that you can do, okay? So all I want you to do is you'll reach both your hands forward, and I'm going to ask you to go into a little bit of a curve backwards. So I'm curling back away from my fingertips and then sit back up. And again, I'm going to go through a deep pelvic tilt, curling down, mobilizing my spine a little bit, come back up, and let's do that again. So I'm going to curl down, 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 and then sit back up. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put both of my hands on my shoulders, and I'll stand up so I'm not in the way of that chair, and you can just mobilize the shoulders a little bit like this. You can go in both directions, completely fine. Mobilizing through those shoulders a little bit. There's a relationship between the height of your shoulders and neck tension. If your shoulder's overly depressed, your neck gets really tight. And if you're sitting at a computer and you're doing like this and you get really tight under here, you might find that the neck is holding up the weight of your arms. And if you want to learn more about that, just let us know, because all of us at the studio really work on people, on teaching people about shoulder girdle height, making sure it's not too high, not too low, not too far forward, not too far back. So I'm just going through these gentle elevations and depressions of the shoulders here. So elevation and then depression, elevation and depression. Find the middle ground. Now I'm going to reach my hands out in front of me. I'm going to go through a reach and then pulling back. And again, I'm going to reach forward and then pull back. So this is protraction and retraction. You can do this from a seated position. You don't have to stand up. I was just standing up because this is in my way a little bit. And then again, find the middle ground between those 2 points and see if you can hold that there. So I'm trying to find the point where my underarms are up at a height at which I have a long length from my hip to my underarms. My shoulders aren't popped up to my ears, but I'm also not trying to push them down and back because that's going to create all kinds of neck tension. So I'm having them stay in this middle neutral position. And again, like I said, if you want to learn more about that, just let us know. So you can take these arm circles into a bigger range now. So you can stand all the way up and go through some arm circles. And then reverse direction. And then we're going to go through a little bit of rotation. So I want you to reach one arm out in front of you as you draw the other hand to your side. And then come back and do the other direction. So we're just going through these little reaches, almost like a bow and arrow. If you have a flex band, you can definitely use a flex band, put it behind you, and go through these motions. So we're mobilizing the thoracic spine through rotation. You can also just put your hands like this and go through rotation this way. Or you can stand up and do the same thing. So just mobilizing that thoracic spine through rotation. Okay, the whole time you're doing all of this, you're trying to keep that chin to chest gently. You don't want to thrust that neck out, right? So we're kind of keeping that chin to chest. And then I'm going to have you go through some side bends. So you can reach one hand down toward the floor, then the other, and then the other. And again, I could sit down and do this. So just mobilizing my torso. Yep, pretty simple. Back and forth through that torso. Again, I'm trying to keep that head in line with the rest of my spine as I'm going through this mobilization. All right. So when you are looking at your phone, you want to try to get a slight forward lean at your hips. You don't want to just drop your neck out, right? A lot of times I'll see people, they sit still from here to here, and to look down, they thrust their head forward. Don't do that. You want to have a forward lean. So you create a forward lean to support the weight of your head, and then you can look at your text this way. And you can also bring it up higher, draw that chin to chest. At a computer, you're going to want to do the same thing. And I'll be posting more about some things on the computer, or again, if you would like a private session, we can help you with your setup, and we can help you with talking about different things you can look at posturally when you're at a computer, or thinking about your shoulders in space, support for your arms, all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, I hope this helps you. Just remember, if nothing else, try to draw that chin to chest, lengthen through the back of the neck, and keep your shoulders steady, but also mobile, and keep your torso moving a little bit. Okay, I hope this helps, and take care. Bye.